Perhaps the most human thing about us is that we have a desire to be one, a desire to feel a part of something whole. So I asked myself, who joins an Elder God cult? That was the first question I asked when I started working on Dark Corners and Old Tomes, a terrible, terrible name, and slowly it morphed into who joins a cult. The answer is pretty simple. It's people who are desperate or lonely, and it suddenly clicked. Dark Corners and Old Tomes wasn't going to be a game about summoning Cthulhu, it'll be a game about cultists around it, and the thin line of reality, metaphysical reality they inhabit. I used a pretty simple dice pool system where the characters takes a die from their born, personal, and potentially their metaphysical attributes. Generally, I want to keep things light, but there were some aspects that got a bit bigger and some that were pulled back. Amusingly enough, the non-cultist aspect of the game got almost entirely gutted. Magic had to be pulled back in case the GM wanted to run a more Heaven's Gate kind of game where it's very real, but the delusion is strong, as well as having to accept that someone is going to want to run a far more pulpy, mystical game as well. Cult building in general had to get downsized due to just being a bit outside the scope of where the project was going. With infinite time and infinite resources, I'd probably expand those two aspects pretty heavily. They are important to the overall narrative, but never fully found themselves in a good, meaty place. Regardless, Dark Corners and Old Tomes was an interesting experience to write. It was going down into the deep muck of cults and other odd things to find out a brand of cosmic horror that is all too close to our hearts as people. Desire to be one with something far greater than ourselves. My name is Notepad Anon, and this was Dark Corners and Old Tomes. If you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. The links are down below, and remember, salvation awaits for those who follow faith.